Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing a valve adjustment on this BMW K1600B. This procedure is going to apply to all K1600 models, so follow along closely and let's get to it. Step one is going to be removing the left frame cover here. Doing so, 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. Next step is just removing this left radiator hose cover. We'll now remove our left side cover here. To do so, there's a screw right there, one right here, one right here. You'll have to move your little deflector off to the side, get the screw right here, and then there's also a screw right there. And then there's this bolt right up here and right in here. And then by just kind of grabbing the panel, just pulling it right off. And then when removing our left radiator cowl, there's 3 screws under here and 2 up here. We will also have to remove our lights down here. 2 T25 bolts, you don't have to take them out all the way. Just loosen them a little bit, pops right off. And then we have a T25 right behind here. That comes out, our little side cover for our light, and then one more T25 behind that. And that just falls right off. So moving on, we're just gonna repeat the same thing we did on the left side, on the right side. So to drain our radiator, there's this little, it's on our right side here. There's a small hose going towards the filler cap of the radiator. What we're gonna do, I just have these pliers here. They're meant for blocking hoses off. And then they lock into place. You can pick them up at pretty much any AutoZone or whatever your local choice of part retailer is. So then in the bottom left-hand corner of our radiator, there's a little drain valve here. We're just gonna give that a 1/4 turn and the coolant will just start running out. And then removing our radiator is relatively simple. There's a little a plug on the side. You'll have to cut this zip tie, unplug this. This is for your radiator fan. The pliers, we're just gonna work our way around the radiator. There's these larger spring clamps here. This is the one for your radiator overflow. And then up here, there's this little one. So now when we remove our radiator, there's 3 clips. As you can see, there's a clip. I'm kind of pointing my needle nose at it there. Use a needle nose, and it's a little clip with a washer behind it on like a little bushing, so the radiator's like kind of floating. So you grab that clip out. And then now we can remove our radiator. And then once we get it off those 2 guides there, the whole unit and everything with the fan and everything attached is just going to come right out. We can then remove this little plastic piece on top of the valve cover. Just kind of wiggles on out of there just like that. I don't know, maybe one of you can identify this unit in the comments. So now we're down to the valve cover. And this is where things kind of get a little weird. So this right here, this tube that you see running across here. So what you're gonna do is just with a little pry bar, you're gonna pry right here, and they're not held in with bolts or anything. You're just gonna kind of work your way around. These things are very prone to cracking, and there's some, like a lot of time, if they don't come out very easy, a little bit of heat is your friend. So I have a brand new valve cover gasket here and a brand new SLS Rail. All this stuff right from BMW. So quality parts, discounted prices, bmwpartsguy.com. Now we can go and remove all 6 of our ignition coils. So removing our ignition coils, we're just going to undo all these plugs. If you want, you can label these plugs, just 1 through 6, left to right. Now removing our ignition coils themselves, I have a little tool here. It's a billet aluminum coil remover. I'll have this linked below in the description as well. Also, if you haven't already, please join my channel. Joining my channel actually costs as little as $5 a month, and doing so gets you some perks. If you're having trouble with something, I will kind of walk you through it. And if you have any questions, you can give me a call on my personal cell phone, and I'll answer any question you may have. So just kind of insurance if you're broken down or something and you need help roadside, I can definitely walk you through some things and help you out as best I can. So now with a T40 Torx, we can go ahead and remove our valve cover. So there's 12 of these bolts on top of the valve cover. And then we will have to remove our cam position sensor on the top of the valve cover there. Removing our valve cover, relatively straightforward. This is kind of held on with a little bit of silicone. So just use a soft rubber mallet and just give it a slight tap and you'll hear it kind of break loose. So T30, pop that off, and then that's going to expose our crankshaft nut. With a 24mm socket, we can put that on there, and we can go ahead and turn our crankshaft. I will have this sheet linked below in the description, but basically it just is kind of a template for measuring your valves. So the exhaust spec is 0.23 to 0.33 millimeters, and then the intake spec is 0.13 to 0.23 millimeters. So when we're checking our valves, we want it to fall between this range. If your valves are more towards the lower end of the range, like let's just say they're like 0.15, totally acceptable. If they're, towards the top end of the range, 0.22, or hey, maybe it's even 0.23, totally acceptable. So now we have a set of feeler gauges here, and these feeler gauges are numbered. They have the measurement, how thick they are. So we have our intake spec on this side and our exhaust spec on this side. So to tell your intake cam from your exhaust cam, super easy. The exhaust is down here, these pipes obviously. So this one is the exhaust side. The intake is under all this stuff up here. This is the intake side. We're just gonna go ahead and spin our motor up and get these cam lobes so they're pointing away so the valves are closed. Take a measurement, write it down, and repeat that across all the valves. This right here is 0.254. We'll slip that underneath. These can kind of be a pain to get under here, but as you can see, it goes in there really easy. And kind of the analogy I like to use is that when you're doing this, it should feel as if you're dragging it across a magnet. So that was 0.254. So let's try this one. Fits right in there. Go ahead and move along to the next one. Fits right in there. And then we'll go ahead and move to the next one. And we're just going to keep going until they really don't fit very well. That one felt pretty snug compared to the others. I'm going to call it this cylinder 6 valve 2, so the farthest one over on the exhaust side, 0.305. Moving over to our spreadsheet here, cylinder 6, exhaust side, our measured value, 0.305. So now I set the intake cam right here on cylinder number 6, all the way up there at the top. Right, this one right here went in, but it feels tighter than the others for the intake, 0.203. Gone and adjusted checked every valve. As you can see here, the exhaust valves, the spec is 0.22 to 0.33, and every single exhaust valve, coincidentally, was 0.305. So kind of right in the middle of the spec, a little bit towards the loose end. Loose is good as the valves, as they wear, the valves tighten up. They don't loosen up, they tighten up. So you kind of want, in a perfect world, you're going to push everything towards the loose side. And as well as the intake side, 0.13 to 0.23, everything was 0.203 to 0.229 across the board. So everything's within spec and nothing needs to be adjusted. Now, before we put our valve cover on, what we're going to want to do is make sure this gasket sealing surface where the valve cover is going to seal on is perfectly spotless. So we want to get this gasket surface here nice and clean. So let's work our way around, get this all cleaned up. When we install our valve cover, we're going to want to put just a little bit of silicone on these half moons here. So there's an inner and an outer valve cover gasket. So we're going to slap the inner one down. The inner one doesn't require any silicone or anything. Just kind of lays right on top of here. When it comes to putting the outer valve cover gasket on, it can be a little tricky. One of the things you really want to make sure of, wires between the gasket and the cylinder head there. We will now work our valve covers over everything. So when doing this, same thing as the valve cover gasket, we're just going to be super extra cautious of wires. We have all of these. We have a crank position wire. We have 6 coil wires. And there's a couple hoses and stuff kind of along the backside. Just sliding it around, I can feel that the valve cover is seated perfectly. So now we're going to work our way around the valve cover, just getting our valve cover bolts finger tightened in here. Now in putting our coils back in, super simple. Just like we did before, just kind of snap them down in there. You should hear an audible snap when they get to the bottom. Cam position sensor I'm going to plug in, and then this far left cylinder is the only one that faces up. So now looking on the back side of the cylinder head, if you look all the way down there, you can see that that valve cover gasket is perfectly aligned along the front. You can see the valve cover is aligned perfectly all across the front. Let's now go ahead and put our SLS rail in. So getting this in, it's a little bit difficult. It helps to kind of lubricate up those little rubber boots hose right here that hooks up to our rail. Now installing our air guide, this piece that just kind of covers up our valve cover. These bundles of wires and stuff get clipped into the top of the air guide. We will move in our complete radiator assembly, included with the radiator fan, the whole 9. Rubber grommets, there's 2 on top and then 1 on the bottom, get installed into their kind of correct locations. So we're gonna oh yeah. This part can be a little difficult, but just getting our radiator, all 3 of these little pegs hooked on with that washer, and then that clip there, and there's we're going to bleed the cooling system. So bleeding the cooling system is super straightforward and pretty simple. This is our coolant fill, and while we're filling coolant, what I like to do is just fill it up all the way to the brim here, and then we're going to slacken the screw on the side of the water pump here. And when we slacken that, you're going to hear a lot of air, kind of air coming out of here, and then it's going to be a steady stream of coolant. And once it's a steady stream of coolant, we're going to tighten this screw up. We're then going to come around, top off our radiator, and then we're going to move over to the engine on the side of the engine block, and there's another screw right here, kind of right on this little elbow here. So we're then going to do the exact same thing. We're going to loosen this screw. You'll hear air, air come out, then it'll kind of bubble, coolant, whatever will come out. Then it'll be a steady stream of coolant. We're then going to tighten that up. We're then going to move around, do the exact same thing, top off the radiator, and then just come around, check this screw again, make sure it's a steady stream of coolant coming out, check this screw right here, make sure it's a steady stream of coolant, and then we're going to run our engine all the way up to operating temperature. Let the bike cool down, make sure the fans kick on and off, and then after we're done that, when the engine's cooled back down, I'm just going to check our coolant level, and then we're also going to want to top it up here to the max line on our reservoir here. So now we're going to start our bike, bring it all the way up to operating temperature, and make sure our fans turn on. The bike is now down to operating temperature, and we've made sure that everything's adequately bled. Then our left and right lower body panels. Installing our right fairing panel. This little rubber peg goes over the rubber peg here. Then reinstalling our right little cover here, and this kind of swings on like that, which is a T30, and then these two T25s. Installing our little radiator hose cover here, and then putting in the final screws on this one last body panel. Thank you so much for watching. If this procedure helped you out in any way, please consider joining my channel. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and have a safe ride.